Welcome back to part 5 of my legendary Macedon campaign. Where we left off was at a ambush battle, the last of the standing armies for the Odryssian Kingdom. And we can see it's a very foggy battlefield, and his troops are very depleted due to my poison provisions. Now that cavalry unit is relatively weak, so I'm going to kind of position them in the back, and I don't really intend to use them this battle. And so we're really just doing a simple deployment here. Don't forget your general. Almost forgot mine. And make a locked group out of everybody but that weakened cavalry unit and just send them all in. There's really not a whole lot of thought required to this particular battle. Since my general is spec'd Zeal, he gets abilities that intimidate or lower the morale of enemy troops. That's what that little crow or bird graphic was. Very useful. That particular ability only targets a single enemy unit. Later he'll get one that targets more of them. Now I'm sending in my cavalry, doing the focus fire with my 3 javelin men. And those guys ended up kind of far away from everybody. The enemy general is in pretty bad shape down there. And this is a pretty easy battle. Hopefully, if my other campaigns are any indication, some of the battles will actually start becoming more difficult. And the reason I say that, I should have mentioned this probably earlier in the campaign, but I do have a mod installed that I made myself that increases the campaign aggressiveness and changes their spending budgets and a few other things. Changes their building priorities so that they build more military buildings as opposed to food and public order buildings. And I've also given the AI extra bonuses to food and public order to account for the fact that they will not be building those buildings as often. So a little bit further in the campaign, we should see some better armies from the AI. I can say that in my Swaby and Seleucid campaigns, the AI has thrown some pretty tricky things my way in terms of army composition. So we'll see if that holds up true in this campaign as well. So that was a relatively quick battle. I have some rebels up there that I couldn't reach on this turn. I'll be able to deal with them on the very next turn. And I am now moving both my armies to the west to deal with the province of Navisos. This guy is going to throw the remainder of his units at my weakened garrison, which is really the best move he has left in the game, but it's not enough, and I believe this will be the end of his faction. There we are, the Tribali. That's who I'm about to go to war with, or I'm already at war. That's who I'm going to actually start fighting battles with. And here they come. And here we go. They outnumber me by about 1,000, roughly 900. So I retreat. They can't catch me, so they retreat. The Odryssian Kingdom has been destroyed. Here we see that there is a agent sabotaging my province. Shame on them.
Ready for orders.
This spy with poison provisions is pretty much an army all on its own. So we need to bring him with us. And there we go. I put my stronger army in defensive stance, and my weaker army I pull back to do some recruitment. And we can see my finances are in pretty poor shape, 700 per turn. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can finally get a trade agreement with these guys, with Athens, my client state. Nope, they still don't want to do it. What will it take? There are other factions I might be able to trade with, but as I've said, I still think it's too early in my campaign to enter into diplomatic relationships. I want to see how the AI factions develop, which ones fade away, and which ones are strong, and then base my diplomatic relationships on that, probably starting around turn 30 or 40. Now, Trevally decides to be a good friend, even though we're at war, and he chases away that rebel army. And he also decides he wants to sabotage me in some manner or other. It looks like a dignitary. And there is Sparta on his way to give me much grief and pain. How about now, Athens? How do you feel about it now?
So you may speak as you wish, and we will give you an honest
Still, no. They do not want to trade. Here we go again with our poison provisions. We are successful. Just checking to see if I'm going to level up. And we've done good damage, but if I don't attack this turn, then it's just going to he's just going to replenish. And unfortunately, oh no, I can move. I thought I couldn't because of that dignitary, and I've managed to catch him in an ambush. This time I'm just going to auto-resolve. I like the odds. And that entire army is destroyed. And what he's left with is barely anything. And I'm just short of movement points to take that settlement with that army. And that army is unable to reach the rebels. So what can I do? I'm going to recruit some slingers there in case Sparta comes up and attacks me, and that looks like it.